Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of entertainment's most iconic figures. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're going to embark on a captivating journey through the extraordinary life of Freddie Mercury, the legendary frontman of Queen. With his unparalleled vocal range, electrifying stage presence, and unapologetic flair for drama, Freddie Mercury left an indelible mark on the world of rock music that continues to inspire and awe audiences to this day. As we step into the vibrant world of Farrokh Bulsara, born on September 5, 1946 in Stone Town, Zanzibar, which was then a British protectorate, we find ourselves immersed in a rich tapestry of cultural influences. The warm tropical air, the sound of Arabic and African rhythms drifting through the streets, and the vibrant colors of the Indian Ocean all blended together to create a unique sensory experience that would later shape Freddie's distinctive style and artistic expression. His parents, Bomi and Jair Bulsara, were Parsis from India, and their heritage would instill in Freddie a deep appreciation for the dramatic, the flamboyant, and the unconventional. As a child, Farrokh spent his early years in Zanzibar, surrounded by the sights, sounds, and smells of African, Arabic, and Indian cultures. He would often watch and wonder as traditional dancers performed on the streets, their movements a mesmerizing blend of elegance and energy. The smell of exotic spices wafting from the local markets, the sound of laughter and music filling the air, and the feel of warm sand between his toes all combined to create an unforgettable sensory experience that would later find its way into Queen's music. Songs like Killer Queen and The Millionaire Waltz showcase Freddie's ability to blend disparate styles, creating a unique sound that was both nostalgic and innovative. Growing up, Farrokh was a shy but creative child, often lost in his own world of fantasy and imagination. His parents encouraged his artistic inclinations, enrolling him in piano lessons at the age of 9. It was during this time that Farrokh began to develop his remarkable vocal talents, singing along to recordings by Elvis Presley, Little Richard, and other rock and roll pioneers. He would spend hours in his room, practicing his scales, perfecting his pitch, and experimenting with different vocal styles. These early influences would later shape Queen's signature sound, which blended elements of rock, opera, and classical music to create a truly unique and captivating style. In 1954, the Bulsara family relocated to India, where Farrokh attended St. Peter's Boys' School in Panchgani. The school's picturesque surroundings, nestled in the rolling hills of the Western Ghats, provided a serene backdrop for Farrokh's formative years. It was here that he met his future bandmates, Brian May and Roger Taylor, who would later become integral to Queen's success. Although they didn't form a band at this point, these early friendships laid the foundation for a lifelong passion for music and performance. The three boys would often spend hours talking about their favorite artists, sharing records, and dreaming of one day becoming rock stars themselves. As Farrokh navigated his teenage years, he became increasingly fascinated with Western rock music, particularly the works of the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and David Bowie. He spent hours listening to records, studying the lyrics, and practicing his vocal techniques. He was especially drawn to the dramatic flair of Bowie's performances, which inspired him to experiment with his own stage presence. This dedication would eventually pay off, as Freddie's unique voice and stage presence became hallmarks of Queen's live performances. The 1960s were a transformative time for Farrokh, marked by significant personal and artistic growth. In 1964, he formed his first band, the Hectics, with friends from school. Although the group didn't achieve widespread success, it provided valuable experience and helped shape Farrokh's skills as a performer and songwriter. Around this time, he also began to explore his own identity, embracing his individuality, and developing the confidence that would later define him as Freddie Mercury. He started to experiment with his fashion sense, often wearing bold and colorful clothing that reflected his artistic personality. With his family's support and encouragement, he set his sights on London, determined to make a name for himself in the competitive world of rock music. The seeds of stardom had been sown, and it was only a matter of time before Freddie Mercury would burst onto the scene, leaving an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. As Farrokh Bulsara stepped off the train at London's Euston Station in 1969, the vibrant hum of the city enveloped him, and he felt an irrepressible sense of excitement and trepidation. The sounds, sights, and smells of the bustling metropolis were a far cry from the tranquil streets of Zanzibar, where he had grown up. With a fierce determination burning within him, Farrokh was resolute in his pursuit of stardom in the thriving music scene. He enrolled in Ealing Art College, where he would meet like-minded individuals who shared his passion for music and art. It was during this period that Farrokh met Tim Staffel, a fellow musician with a penchant for blues and rock music. Their chance encounter would prove to be a pivotal moment in the formation of one of the most iconic bands in rock history. As they began to jam together, their musical chemistry became apparent, and they soon recruited Brian May and Roger Taylor to complete the lineup. The four musicians spent countless hours rehearsing, experimenting with different sounds, and honing their craft. In 1970, Farrokh adopted the stage name Freddie Mercury, a moniker that reflected his growing confidence, charisma, and flair for the dramatic. As Freddie's unique voice and stage presence began to make him a standout in the band, initially called Ibex, they started performing at various gigs around London. The group's eclectic sound, which blended elements of glam rock, progressive rock, and heavy metal, was met with enthusiasm by their growing fan base. In 1971, they changed their name to Queen and recruited John Deacon as their bassist, completing the classic lineup that would go on to achieve global success. The band's early performances were marked by a sense of camaraderie and experimentation, with Freddie's captivating stage presence drawing in audiences and setting him apart from his contemporaries. One of Freddie's earliest defining moments came in 1973, when Queen released their debut album, simply titled Queen. Although it didn't chart highly, the record showcased the band's innovative sound and Freddie's impressive vocal range. Tracks like Keep Yourself Alive and Liar demonstrated Freddie's ability to craft catchy anthemic choruses and showcase his remarkable vocal agility. In 1974, Queen released their second album, Queen 2, which featured the hit single, Killer Queen. This song marked a turning point in Freddie's career, as its success demonstrated his ability to craft catchy, radio-friendly hits that still showcased his impressive vocal talents. The album itself was a critical and commercial breakthrough, reaching number 5 on the UK Albums Chart and establishing Queen as a major force in British rock music. According to Brian May, Freddie was always the driving force behind our live shows. He had this incredible energy and charisma that just drew people in. This energy was palpable during Queen's 1974 tour, which featured a memorable performance at the Rainbow Theatre in London. As Queen's popularity grew, so did Freddie's reputation as a dynamic live performer. His flamboyant stage presence, which blended elements of theater, ballet, and rock and roll, captivated audiences and set him apart from his contemporaries. Freddie's love of opera and classical music was evident in his performances, as he would often incorporate complex vocal harmonies and dramatic flourishes into the band's live shows. This unique blend of styles helped to establish Queen as one of the most exciting and innovative live acts of the 1970s. In 1975, Queen released A Night at the Opera, an album that many consider their masterpiece, featuring iconic tracks like Bohemian Rhapsody and You're My Best Friend. This record showcased the band's incredible range and creativity. Freddie's vocal performances were particularly noteworthy, as he effortlessly navigated complex operatic sections and poignant balladry. The song Bohemian Rhapsody was a game-changer for Queen, with its innovative production and groundbreaking music video raising the bar for rock music and cementing Freddie's status as a visionary artist. The success of Night at the Opera catapulted Queen to international stardom, with Bohemian Rhapsody becoming a huge hit single in the UK and beyond. The song's impact was felt far beyond the music world, with its innovative production and iconic video influencing countless artists and filmmakers. Freddie's relationships with his contemporaries became increasingly significant during this period, as he formed close bonds with other musicians, including David Bowie and Elton John. As Queen continued to push the boundaries of rock music, Freddie remained at the forefront, driving the band's creative vision and ensuring their legacy as one of the most beloved and enduring acts in rock history. The band's subsequent albums, including A Day at the Races and News of the World, further solidified their reputation as one of the most innovative and exciting bands of the 1970s. With Freddie's irrepressible charisma and creative genius at the helm, Queen was poised to conquer the world, leaving an indelible mark on the music industry that would be felt for generations to come. In the midst of this whirlwind of creativity and success, Freddie's personal life became increasingly complicated. His relationships with his bandmates were intense and often tumultuous, with creative differences and personal tensions simmering just below the surface. Despite these challenges, the band remained united in their pursuit of musical excellence, driven by Freddie's unwavering passion and dedication to their craft. As Queen's popularity continued to soar in the late 1980s, Freddie Mercury's personal life became increasingly complex, a delicate balancing act between the demands of fame and his own private struggles. His relationship with Jim Hutton, his partner since 1983, was a beacon of stability and comfort, providing a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos of touring and recording. However, the pressures of fame, combined with the toll of his grueling touring schedule, began to take their toll on his physical and mental health. Despite these challenges, Freddie remained committed to his craft, pouring his heart and soul into Queen's music and live performances. He was a perfectionist, always striving for excellence, and his dedication inspired his bandmates to push themselves to new heights. As Brian May noted, Freddie was a force of nature on stage, a whirlwind of energy and charisma that just swept everyone up. He had this incredible ability to connect with the audience, to make them feel like they were part of something special. The late 1980s saw Queen release several successful albums, including The Miracle and Innuendo, which featured hits like The Invisible Man and These Are the Days of Our Lives. Freddie's vocal performances continued to astound, with his range and expressiveness remaining unparalleled. His voice was an instrument of incredible versatility, capable of conveying the deepest emotions and most complex ideas. As he sang about love, loss, and the human condition, his audience felt seen and heard, connected by a shared experience that transcended borders and generations. One of the most memorable moments from this period came in 1990, when Queen embarked on their final tour with Freddie, which included a memorable performance at the Montreux Jazz Festival. The festival, held in the picturesque Swiss town of Montreux, was a highlight of the summer music season, attracting fans and musicians from around the world. As Queen took to the stage, the crowd erupted into cheers and applause, eager to witness the band's legendary live show. Though his health was beginning to decline, Freddie's performances remained electrifying, with his signature charm and wit still captivating audiences worldwide. Backstage, however, the reality of Freddie's condition was becoming increasingly apparent. His AIDS diagnosis, which he had kept private for fear of sparking a media frenzy, was taking its toll on his physical health. The disease, which was still poorly understood at the time, was ravaging his immune system, leaving him vulnerable to opportunistic infections and illnesses. Despite his bravery and determination, Freddie's body was beginning to betray him, forcing him to confront the harsh reality of his own mortality. Tragically, Freddie's life was cut short when he passed away on November 24, 1991, due to complications from AIDS. The news sent shockwaves around the globe, with fans and fellow musicians alike mourning the loss of a true legend. As Elton John reflected, Freddie was a dear friend, a brilliant musician, and a courageous soul who inspired countless people around the world. His passing was a devastating blow, not just to those of us who knew him personally, but to the entire music community. In the years following his passing, Freddie's legacy has only continued to grow. The band's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001 cemented their status as one of the most influential and beloved acts in rock history. Freddie's impact, however, extends far beyond his music. His unwavering commitment to his art and his unapologetic individuality have made him a beacon of hope and inspiration for countless people around the world. As he once said, "I'm just a musical prostitute, my dear." I go with whatever suits me at the time. This fearless approach to life and art has left an indelible mark on popular culture, inspiring artists to push boundaries, challenge conventions, and remain true to themselves. Freddie's influence can be seen in the work of countless musicians who have followed in his footsteps. From Lady Gaga to Adam Lambert, artists have been inspired by his innovative style, his daring creativity, and his unwavering dedication to his craft. As Brian May noted, Freddie was a true original, a one-off. He had this incredible ability to tap into the zeitgeist, to capture the mood of the times and reflect it back at us through his music. Today, Freddie Mercury is remembered as a trailblazing artist who defied convention and pushed the boundaries of what was possible. His music, his style, and his unwavering dedication to his craft continue to inspire and influence artists across genres. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.